G'day guys, how you doing? My butcher was having a special on pork ribs today, so I bought some. I thought I would cook one of my favourite recipes, which is pressure cooker Coke ribs. Now the problem is I've just realised that my pressure cooker, the seal is missing. I can't find it. So we're going to do slow cooker ribs. The problem is when you do it in the slow cooker, I normally do it on low over about 8-9 hours. I'm going to do it on high over 4. Cross fingers it works. Basically this recipe is usually fall off the fucking bone. It is unbelievably good. The problem is that ribs normally take a long time. Smoking them is great, but you know, it's an all-day event, so if you just want to have some ribs that taste amazing, this is an unbelievable way to do it. Fall off the bone ribs. Normally in a pressure cooker we can do that in 45 minutes. The thing that makes this real special is the sauce as well. Don't just use, I mean, you can use whatever you want. I mean, if you want to fucking use Baby Ray's or anything off the shelf, then fucking do it. Who am I to tell you otherwise? But it's so easy to make your own unbelievable homemade barbecue sauces that will change the fucking game on these things. So real simple, we'll get started. This is my own rub, which I make. I'll put the recipe in the description below. It's basically brown sugar, pepper, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, and celery salt, and that's all it is. So I'll put the exact recipe down below. When you get your ribs, normally at the back you will have a membrane running all the way along down here. You normally just get some paper towel, grab onto it, and you can rip it all off. My butcher has removed it for me, so I don't need to do it. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to put some rub on. I use mustard, you can use anything. Basically it's just anything to get the rub to stick. Okay, mustard's just good because I like the flavour of mustard. So we'll basically put that on. Rub that into the sides best you can. Flip it over. These ribs look really good, man. Like in Australia, ribs, they're fucking expensive, and this is under $30, so like 20, I don't know, 22 or 23 US dollars for 2 kilos. So that's a really good deal for where I live, at least anyway. I know, I used to live in America, so I know how cheap ribs are, but here, that's a pretty good price. So basically what we'll do, we'll flip it over, start again. Should have done it the other way. Just cover your ribs in the rub. Make sure it gets in everywhere. Rub it in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of my favourite ribs, one of my favourite sauces for ribs. It's not my favourite barbecue sauce. I have a couple of others, but I normally have them as dipping sauces for other stuff. This is a really good recipe for ribs. If I normally find barbecue sauce is a little bit too sweet, so this is a recipe that's a little less sweet, but it is still absolutely amazing. I'll show you that soon. So what we're going to do with this recipe is really simple. We're going to cover this in the rub, get it all rubbed in. We're going to then drop the ribs in the slow cooker, and then we're going to fill up the slow cooker with Coke. Now you can use anything. You can use Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Coke, fucking Sprite, whatever the fuck you want. It really doesn't matter as long as it's got the acid that's going to help break down the meat, and that's what makes it tender as fuck. I use Coke because why the fuck not? So that's it. That's your rub, all mixed in, pushed in really, really well. As you can see, ribs are ready to go. Alright guys, now that you've got the rub put onto the ribs, what we're simply going to do is put them into the slow cooker. Normally we'd use a pressure cooker, but I can't find the seal. So we'll try, see how that goes. 4 hours, and then we'll pull it out. We'll cover it in the sauce that I'm about to make for you. Actually made it earlier, but whatever, who gives a fuck. But I'll show you that now. We will put this in, we'll put the Coke in, we'll put it in for 4 hours. We'll then cover it with the sauce, broil it in the oven, get it nice and caramelized, and it's ready. So, that's what we're going to do. So you just got to layer it however the ribs are going to fit. Try and get it as low as possible. Then all we do is put Coke in, that's it. Now just be careful when you're putting the Coke, don't just pour it over everything because you'll knock all the rub off. You want to try and find somewhere down the side where you can put it without it taking off too much of the rub on the actual ribs themselves. So you basically just want to fill it until it's completely covered in the Coke, that's it. Depending on how much Coke will depend on how many ribs and all that sort of good stuff. So that is 1.5 litres. We probably need about 2 litres in total. Alright, there you go. Probably just over 2 litres to get that done, okay? So we'll basically put the lid on, put it on slow cook high, and then we go start. So basically come back in 4 hours and see how it goes. Okay, so this is the barbecue sauce that we're going to be making for the ribs. I've got a lot of different barbecue sauce recipes. I'll make some other videos. This is my favorite. It's a really neutral, more tomato sauce based barbecue sauce. It's not as overpoweringly sweet as, you know, the real sticky, you know, Kansas City, Tennessee sauces. You know, I like the tomato based ones and the mustard based sauces like the South Carolina. I do a great South Carolina recipe too. This one is really, really good. So basically what we start off with, the base is 2 cups of ketchup. Then you've got 1/3 cup of molasses, 3 tablespoons of mustard. You have a full chopped onion, about a tablespoon of minced garlic. Of course you can use fresh. 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of chili powder, and a tablespoon of dried chilies, chili flakes, and the secret ingredient is some liquid smoke. Basically with these ribs, obviously we're not smoking them, so this gets some smoke flavor into the sauce. So we'll just fry off these onions. What we'll do is we'll fry off the onions and the garlic, then we'll put everything in, cook it, then we'll put it in the blender and mix it all up so it's fine. So we'll just cook these off for a few minutes and then we'll add the garlic so the garlic doesn't burn. You don't want that. Yeah, this is really, really good. Obviously with this menu, so I'm frying off the onions now. We'll just fry that off for a couple of minutes. Then we'll add the garlic, then we'll add in everything else. Then we'll blend it all up. Make it nice and smooth. Yeah, I really love different types of barbecue sauces. I find, you know, the generic, you know, Baby Ray's or Stubbs or whatever. It's just a little bit, usually a little bit too overly sweet for me, and they're just a bit boring. So I like to make my own, and there's some really cool stuff that you can do with barbecue sauces. My favorite is the South Carolina sauce, which I normally base these ribs, and then I use the South Carolina to dip it in. But I didn't cook any this time, so I will make a recipe for that later. So just fry off that garlic. We don't want to burn the garlic, so I'll just quickly put that in before we add in everything else. There goes the tomato sauce. And the mustard and the molasses. And then we'll just put everything else in. So you just got to combine that. Really all we want to do is just simmer that for about 5 to 10 minutes. I really just want everything to combine. That's really about it. We're just going to cook that off for a few more minutes, then we'll put it in the blender and it's going to be good to go. Okay, so that's been simmering for about 10 minutes now, so that's ready to go. So what we're just going to do is just scoop it up and put it into the hand blender, or the bullet blender I mean. Get that cranking. Oh man, this smells so good. This is going to be unbelievable. I love this barbecue sauce. It's just, I'm telling you, it's for everybody. Obviously if you don't like spicy, you don't have to put in the amount of chilies and whatnot that I did. But you know, I like spicy, so there you go. Alright, so that's in now. Just going to give it a bit of a blend. That's it. All blended. Oh, that's nice and hot. Look at that stuff. Alright guys, so it's been 4 hours, so let's pull the ribs out and see what they look like. Oh, yep. You can already tell they're falling apart. That's good. Oh, that's a good sign. Ooh. Look at that. Falling off the bone. Oh. Oh. Yeah, baby. That's just falling apart. Beautiful. Oh man, you can already tell these are going to be good. They're just falling apart. I think that's everything. Beautiful. Alright, so as you can see there, those ribs are already just falling off the bone. So, we're not done yet. What we got to do is give it a little bit more love in the oven with this sauce that we made earlier. Oh, let's just falling apart. So we'll just give it a baste, and that'll cook for 15-20 minutes in the oven, and all that sauce is going to caramelize, and it's just going to be freaking unfucking believable. This shit is going to be so good. I'm telling you, man, I've smoked a lot of ribs, and I don't know, man, this always seems to turn out just so good. You know, anything that's fallen, you know, just that falls apart with a really good sauce. You know, you got that smoke flavour in there. You know, it's just awesome. Oh. I mean, they're just difficult to work with. They just want to fall apart, which is just awesome. That's what we want, man. That's how you cook fucking ribs, man. This shit's just the bomb. Alright, so we'll just finish that up. We'll put it in the oven, and I'll show you the final result. Alright, well, let's dig into it, huh? Yeah, it came out really good for those 4 hours. Some passion fruit soft drink soda. It is hot as fucking balls tonight. I've just been sweating. So look, there you go. Oh, beautiful. Oh, look, it's just fall apart. That's just so good. I made some turmeric and Cajun spice butter rice. Something like that. It's good. Oh man, look at that. It's just falling apart. This barbecue sauce, man, it's so good. It's just perfect for ribs. I normally make some other sauces I like to dip this into as well, but just by itself it's just absolutely perfect. Better than anything that you're going to get in the store. Uh-oh. Fuck. I'm a messy eater, fuck it. Just so good. There's one. Beautiful. Just falling apart. I mean, I love smoked ribs. It's still my favorite, but I mean, this is so close as well. It's just so good. It really, really is. I would have loved to have had more time and done it on a lower heat. Did it over a longer period of time. It would have even been more tender again, but I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, fuck, man. I gotta stop doing that. Just falls apart, man. So good. Cool. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Cheers.